Hey, it's Bridget. Welcome to the vlog. This is Fairy Grasshopper YouTube channel. You probably hear an echo. It's because I'm in this little hallway. Have you noticed that during these times, whether it be during these wintry cold times where you can't be outside or you aren't able to be outside and be social for maybe other reasons like your health care, let's say that, health, that you've had to be more adaptable. You've had to really be able to adjust. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Every time I come in this little space between the bedroom and then the bathrooms over here and the closets over here, I feel like very aware that we have to kind of make things work and be creative about our spaces, about things in our lives actually. And this little place for me is my yoga space. So I have, you probably can't see it, but I got my yoga mat here. I'm sitting on a pillow right now. It's too cold. Like I can't even take off my sweatshirt yet until I get warmed up a little bit. But I'm gonna do some yoga, some stretching. Yoga with Adrienne, which is great on YouTube. If you are new to yoga or if you've done it for 100 years, it's a good resource. So adaptability, I want to chat with you about that a little bit because we can start to get kind of tired of that, of being constantly having to shift and change and rearrange our lives or things. Nothing seems to be going as planned. In fact, I got a phone call today from someone who was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Like, not one more thing. I cannot deal with one more thing. What is happening? Like, do I just have really bad luck or what is going on here? And then prior to that, like a couple hours prior to that, I had a session with someone who was really doing some major shifts and major clearing intentionally. Clearing, like spiritual stuff, life stuff, past experience stuff in this life, working with guilt and shame and just lots of shedding and clearing and stuff. So I'm like, I can completely see where we're really getting this. We're not getting sick of it. That's not the way I would say it. I would say we're really getting many opportunities over and over and over again to be able to recognize what it is we really need, like basic core foundation need, and what we want our lives to look like, what we want to create for life. And that's different now because we've been through major traumatic experiences together in the last year and a half. There's been a lot of stuff going on and we've had massive changes and forced on us. And that's not counting everybody's individual unique circumstances. So we've had this incredible just core requirement, mandatory need to be able to adjust, to adapt. It's not about being flexible so much as adapting. Like, here's the plan. Oh, plan's changed. And to be able to learn each time we have these experiences like that where we have to adapt or change course, that it's not something that is like a definition of who we are. It doesn't say anything about us, and it doesn't speak to any kind of lack on our part, like lack of planning or lack of this or lack of that, or oh, the universe is against me. It doesn't mean anything more than simply, I don't need this now. I need this. This is not an option. Move on to the next thing. It's a process of this adaptability is a process of being able to readily let go of something, not take ownership of it or have personal identity wrapped up in something that is totally it really is not, as it's got to be something that's been inflexible for you, or even a point of resistance, or even something that you may be held on to as a sense of security or a false sense of safety or false sense of self-identity. And that's totally natural. We look to feeling safe and secure and comfortable and contented in our lives with the things that we've built around us, like our homes and as simple as like our furniture or clothing or that kind of a thing. And so when we change, like when our body changes, for example, we have to buy new clothes, that's like a shocker, but that's an opportunity to adapt, to let go of the old and embrace the new, however you are showing up right now, without the judgment piece, without the the feelings of lack or the guilty energy or the punishing kind of shaming kind of energy. We have developed over and over and over again these skills of adapting. And that really is a lesson in going with the flow of energy, not pushing against something and being more resistant, but going with the flow. Even if we think we have a better idea, the universe has so much more options and opportunities for us. It might not make sense to you, and guess what? It doesn't have to, because this is not about your brain. Identity is about the brain. Safety is something the brain creates to help preserve you, to help secure your lifespan. It's like from the old mammal brains, the primal mind, that kind of a thing. It's not something that you need to use on a day by day basis, right? It's something that you need to use in moments where your life really is in danger, or where you really are at risk of harm or hurt and suffering. So I have to say that this adaptability, I get it, that it's like causing us, it is wearing us down. It's wearing me down. I can feel it. In the beginning of this kind of whole stay-at-home experience in March of 2020, I experienced early on, from like March through like June or July, multiple disappointments. And I was faced with the energy of really working through what disappointment meant for me, what that emotion was like for me. Feeling let down, getting excited about a class and then it was canceled, or getting excited about a trip and it was canceled, or getting, all of this feeling of disappointment. And through my children, disappointment when college ended, disappointment when school was canceled, disappointment when the prom was canceled, disappointment when graduation was canceled. I mean, all these things, disappointment. So I worked on that a lot. And now it seems like this year, almost a year later in 2021, when I'm recording this, it feels like now our adaptability, we've been practicing it a lot, so much that the actual art of adapting is becoming a pattern itself. Adapting is a pattern. We expect it now. It's like we expect the unexpected. We are dancing with the unknown. And that's just kind of a part of our life experience right now. But it is kind of rubbing. It's starting to create like a calloused energy, at least for me. It's like, it's starting to create, if I allow it, yeah, I feel like that. So I'm in an opportunity space here. So if we allow ourselves to get annoyed, or not even annoyed, like, how do I see this? The energy that's coming through about the adaptability piece that I wanted to talk about is like this, it's almost like we're getting turned off or numb, not to intense emotions, but to stressors, to life, to expectation, to where we're being rubbed up against this, almost like this invisible energy of disappointment, of long-standing boredom, of feeling constricted or stuck, and all of these things that we used to be busy with, so we didn't have to feel our emotions or our energies, or actually be in physical interpersonal connection and communications in our personal relationships in our households. We didn't have to do that because we were so busy. Now we're at a place where there's like this invisible energy that's all built up around us, and it's like, what are you going to do with that? You got to let off some steam. You got to let it shift, let it flow, let it release. You got to get yourself into just the simple state of awareness. You don't have to push it away, just like you don't have to stuff your emotions. You don't have to use vices like alcohol or food, even healthy vices like exercise to distract. You get the opportunity during adaptability to recognize your emotions, okay? You get the opportunity to not just go on autopilot into, okay, I'm letting this go, I'm going to here, but you get the opportunity to understand if there's emotions that are here at this joint, this turn space, you get the opportunity to work with those if you choose to do that. And guess what? When you choose to do that here, it helps to allow this excess energy to soften, to loosen up, to not feel so like a cloud around you. right? Like a pressured energy, or like air pollution. It's kind of how it looks to me, like a cloud, like air pollution. So being told we have to be flexible, we have to adapt is sickening. It's annoying. Nobody needs to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. It's simply something we have learned to utilize as just a natural part of our life. It's something that we've come to expect. And over time, we've built up this muscle of adaptability, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But there is an emotional part of this where if you've created this skill or this muscle of adaptability because of no fault of your own or no choice of your own, it may have created kind of a bubble here or a little bit of pressure here with an emotion that's connected to that reminds you of a point in your life where you didn't have a choice, or a part of a relationship you've been in where you didn't have power and somebody had power over you, or where you were a target for someone. You were the distraction. So when they were stressed, they took it out on you for whatever reason, whether that be yelling at you or physically harming you, whatever it may have been. So even though adaptability in and of itself is a great skill to have, it's this muscle to have, it underneath that, or at the change point of that, you have this opportunity to work with this emotion that is here, or that comes up for you. So all you have to do is just be aware. That's it. Just be aware. And then if you need help or assistance, reach out to a therapist, a counselor, a licensed clinical social worker to get some consistent connection where you can work on some of the emotions that's coming through, especially if you're feeling a tremendous amount of stress. You need some help, because that, even though you're adaptable and even though you're high functioning, it's affecting you. And this is a perfect opportunity to clear your mind and your thoughts that are creating and the reason and the source for your feeling and emotion. You can talk to somebody, and that helps the mind kind of settle down when it gets the attention that it needs. So again, a licensed clinical social worker, a counselor, an employee assistance program, a group. Oftentimes employers will offer that. You're probably saying, Bridget, I don't have an employer. Well, on the back of your health insurance card, there is usually a number that you can call. There are also numerous crisis response hotlines that you can call just to talk to someone. You don't actually have to be on the brink or on the edge. There are places where you can get mental health services over the phone, at least talk to someone. You can just Google that up and look online. There are tons of resources and websites, and to access free help and anonymous, like, you can do that. You can do that. And why shouldn't you do that? You deserve that. You deserve support. You deserve help, right? To work through this time. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means you're in the adaptability place where you are like, okay, I don't want to get numb again. I don't want to depreciate all of these lessons that I've learned over the last year and a half, where, like I said, the disappointment energy and working through that, you want to keep working through things. You want to keep energy moving, keep energy flowing, but you want it to do it in a healthy way that supports you and encourages you. And you do have an opportunity right here now to work with the emotions, and nobody wants to do that. That's why everybody's stressed, because they're trying to run away and they can't. You physically can't. So no escaping here, okay? No Houdinis. We are going to deal with what is present by just simply being aware. We're going to let it be present. We don't have to fix it or change it or make it better or worse or add, poke the sleeping bear, sleeping giant, or whatever. We can just be aware that it's there. You can use a journal if you want. You can go talk to somebody if you need to, which I would strongly recommend and encourage. I have a counselor I work with. I have a life coach that I work with. I need that. I know that I need that to be healthy, to be in a state of learning and growth, and as a student, as really a student of life, working with energy in a positive, healthy, and hopeful way. And I want the same for you also. If you feel overwhelmed, it's natural. But it doesn't help when somebody says, oh yeah, that's natural, everybody else is overwhelmed too. Well, that doesn't make you feel any better. Misery loves company. No, it doesn't. It does not. That is a myth. That is not true. Not at all. Not at all. So, all right. Well, there you go. I didn't expect to do a little chit chat about adaptability. This would have been a great podcast, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm just getting ready to get on that yoga mat here and do some stretching and some feeling, some strong energy, which I actually have to adapt some of the yoga poses to fit what suits my needs and my ability right now. to deal with like some knee stuff that sometimes pops up or shoulder stuff that pops up. I have to be adaptable. And I'm doing that in response to my needs, right? My needs. And so maybe adaptability is really an advocacy piece or a voice. Maybe it's tied to your voice for your own needs and your own desires, because that matters. Guess what? You still can dream, even if you don't have a job right now, even if you're recovering from an illness, even if you're scared, you're just feeling scared and uncertain. You can still have dreams. We are complex creatures, okay? We have body, mind, heart, and soul. We have 4 aspects to who we are. And because of that, we don't have just one thing to focus on at any one time. We have multifacets that we're connected to, and sometimes that can be overwhelming, but I choose to believe that the energy that we bring into our lives is a direct offering for our sweet and beautiful soul, for the source, the energy of what has created you. And what has created you has motivated and inspired you to be a person here and now during this time. And that matters. You matter, okay? You matter. You might not feel like you do. You might feel crappy right now, but it's just a temporary moment in your time. And it's likely that the part of the reason why you feel crappy is because you're not letting yourself move and work with those feelings. You know, you're not trying to fix them or hide them or stuff them. You're just letting them flow and be part of the process, letting them flow and be present. Because underneath those feelings and emotions, there's messages, there's information. If you're working with your intuition at all, this is totally a prime time to work with that. It has been stressful and challenging for me as well as a clairsentient person, as an empath. I know that one of my greatest psychic gifts is my clairsentience, my sensing feeling, and yet it's the most difficult one to work with. And I try really hard to tone it down in my sessions because it just feels like it's just challenging. It's so big, it's challenging for me. And I know if I'm feeling that, certainly you are feeling that as well at times. So be present for yourself, do the best that you can, get help when you need it, and before you need it. Be proactive. Don't wait till you're crying on the bathroom floor to call a friend to ask for help, okay? Just call somebody, reach out, connect, have a normal conversation. Talk about silly things. Watch some doggy videos and get laughing and send it to a friend and say, what do you think of this? And then have a conversation about it. Just communicate, connect. I wish I could just talk to you guys. I wish we could just sit in a room and just hang out and talk, or just be with you, be with you. As we are adapting together. All right, I'm going to do some yoga. I've been sitting in this cross-legged position for way too long. I can feel it on the knees. Gotta be gentle. All right, so I wish you guys all the best today. I hope you are inspired. I hope I've inspired your spirit, filled you with some hope. Looking forward to recording videos for you. I have been recording some videos for Above Life channel on YouTube, so you're gonna like that. Been super inspired to do that recently, so thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Giving you a big hug, sending you some good vibes, okay? All right, please take care of yourselves. You matter a great deal to me. Please take care of yourself. Okay. And I promise I will take care of myself to the best of my ability too. And that best, it's different every day. Take care.